for now, Northern Ireland's health and social care system is among the clients of an IT company affected by a cyber attack. Advanced, which provides digital services, things like patient check-in, has been targeted in a ransomware attack. At this stage, there's no direct effect on services, including patient records or payroll. However, as a precaution and to avoid risk to other critical systems, access to the company's services was disabled by the Northern Ireland Health Service. The company works with a range of NHS bodies. The NHS insists that disruption is minimal at the moment, but advanced advised that it would not say whether NHS data had been stolen. Professor Kevin Curran, Professor of Cybersecurity at Ulster University, joins us now. Kevin, thanks for your time this morning. Talk us through this then. A ransomware attack essentially is one where people steal some information or can affect a computer system and demand money. Is that right?
Exactly. It's one of the worst things we have in modern cybersecurity. It's where a computer system or a complete network is actually brought to its hold and is encrypted. And of course, you can have a screen lock on screen. Either all the data is encrypted and is inaccessible, or else you got a screen lock or warning on your system saying you cannot access data until you pay a ransom. And of course, the ransom is paid in something like Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. And of course, if this is done properly, it's very hard to trace down the culprits. Yeah. And of course, most of this ransomware comes from Eastern Europe, particularly Russia.
Talk us through, in terms of the NHS, obviously they work with multiple partners in a range of ways, but you would assume, for the most part, that security is a major issue for them. So it must be quite advanced software to be able to get through those systems.
Security is a major part of any organization at this moment because technology runs our systems. And there has been an increase, in fact, 100% this year on health systems around the world. There was a bit of a delay during COVID, actually, because of the critical nature of NHS systems around the world or any health system, even though the Irish system, National Health System, was targeted last year by the Conti ransomware group. But actually, so a lot of these groups actually said they would not actually target health systems, health providers, but they've actually stopped doing that lately, and we've seen an increase. Now, it's very difficult to secure every single part of your network. People forget that the NHS is the 6th largest employer in the world. So you have systems for everything from heart rate monitors right up to, anything that is crucial within a modern hospital, of course. And all these systems run different operating systems. A lot of these are quite old, and of course, the hackers only have to get lucky once. They only have to get one flaw in the network, and then they're in, and they can start encrypting. Where the good guys, of course, the health service themselves, NHS Digital, have to actually block all the avenues that can come in. So actually, it's not as complicated as you think. A lot of this malware is actually done through phone calls, even, where people are sending messages saying that your subscription has expired, and these are employees. Yeah. And then they open up these remote sessions, and of course, the criminals then are able to pivot across the network. And when you do something like this, where an employee actually opens up a remote session to another computer, even the best trained, the best systems you have would not be able to really identify that, especially when an employee does something behind, the IT services manager's back.
Yeah, and Kevin, the NHS insisting in this case anyway that disruption is minimal, but how bad could it be? I mean, could we get to a point where doctors could be standing in front of a patient and not be able to see any of their notes, for example?
Yeah, absolutely. In the future, we're going to see a lot more paper-based roles again, where pen and paper is actually what's needed, So generally what you have to do in all these cases, of course, is to have backups of your system, of course, and train your employees, try to have the best safeguards, technology in place, again. But really, employee training is crucial, actually, because these are actually low-level ones, again, that... In other words, that there's gangs out there really who actually hire this software, it's provide as a service, as I say. You don't have to have great skills. You just have to have, a desire for money, really, again. So it's very hard to secure all your systems again. But backups are crucial, of course, being able to have some kind of system in place for when this happens. And of course, we will see this happening. We'll see this happening in airlines. We'll see it happen in airports, train services again, because it really is a nefarious piece of software, really. It actually disables any access to data. And of course, an extortion can occur as well, because a lot of these gangs leak the data as well as part of the negotiation tactics to get a higher ransom.
Yeah, and difficult to stamp out as well. Kevin, thanks for your time this morning. We'll leave it there for now. Professor Kevin Curran, who's a professor of cyber security at Ulster University.